Welcome back to another class of Bringing Wisdom to Life. I am Alejandra Jasso, and I will be your host for this series. I realized the other day that I never introduced myself, and it's never too late. I am very happy and honored to have a wonderful teacher of ACI, Venerable Kading, that she will be our teacher this morning. How are you, Kading?
I'm really, really well and excited to be here celebrating mothers.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here with us in Mother's Day. In Mexico is Mother's Day today, and also in other parts of the world. And this week we'll celebrate Mother's Day in US. But when I was organizing this class for this month, I thought it would be nice to celebrate an entire month, not just one day. So thank you so much, Venerable Kading, for here with us today. So now is your turn. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, again, thank you for the invitation. Preparing for this class was phenomenal. You know, when we celebrate mothers, we have to celebrate all of us and all the beings, because everyone's been my mother. Everyone's been your mother. So it's a time to really think about what mothers give to us. Think about the 7-step Lojong, of course, and to remember they have given us so much kindness, every single being, and we must repay that kindness. And what a wonderful way to walk through a day, interacting with friends and strangers and all beings. So I have a calendar book with quotes in it. And the one for this week was from Paramahansa Yogananda. And he said, "The mother's love is not given to us to spoil us with indulgence, but it's to soften our hearts, that we may in turn soften others with kindness." That's a beautiful summary of how mothers give us their love. It's teaching us how to soften our hearts. Now, of course, Arya Nagarjuna says the mother of Buddhas is wisdom, right? And he wrote a great text on this topic, emptiness, understanding karma and emptiness, how reality works. But remember that wisdom only gets us to a level of arhat. And we need to imbue that wisdom with bodhicitta to get to total enlightenment. So here's where the teachings of the mother carry us on through to total perfection, through the softening of our hearts. So we have many, many teachings on how to soften our heart. But I'm going to first show you a picture of my Mama Lama. Let's see here. Whoops. Oh, that's cute. Can you see my share, or are we still seeing? Oh, we see my share, huh? This is my precious Mama Lama, I call her.
We can see your
good. No. And she's still alive. I'm very blessed. And she had a tough daughter to train how to soften the heart. I was a normal child, I think, growing up with a, middle-class family in the United States in the early years. And then we moved to Africa, where my father was killed in a plane crash when he was only 36 years old. And I was 16. And after that point, I stormed into the world full of anger. And I'm just connecting the dots now and getting ready for this class. Rather than feeling grief for the loss of my young father, I felt anger. And I was an angry person that my mother had to try to soften. It was difficult. It's actually taken her until maybe last year, I'm 67 now, for a total softening to return to my heart through her love as my mother. And, in the West, we have very complicated perceptions of our mothers. Often we complain about them. We fall into a state of considering, oh, poor me, they neglected me, they beat me, they didn't feed me, they abandoned me. And it's hard for us as a culture in the West to really appreciate the very gift of life that our mothers gave us. We could not have lived past the first day without our mother. And I think maybe for the purpose of this conversation, we can consider the idea of mother as whoever it was who took care of us, because someone had to take care of us after the mother gave us life. Otherwise, we would have died in one day. So for the purpose of this conversation, we can think of mother as that person who took care of us until we were able to tie our own shoes and feed ourselves and provide shelter for ourselves. This picture is a picture of my first two teachers who I knew were my teachers. These are the Buddhas who
Venerable
taught me.
Kading?
Yes?
Sorry for interrupt you, but we can't see your pictures.
Oh, you cannot?
We cannot, yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay. How about this one? Can you see this?
Nope.
Uh-oh. Let's see here. I will try to share screen again. How about that?
Now we can.
Now, I did not know my Mama Lama was my first teacher until maybe, I'm going to say, until maybe 10 years ago. It took me 56 years to understand that my mother was my first teacher. She was making me into a Buddha by softening my heart. These two were my first acknowledged teachers. For some reason, they were born before I started studying Buddhism. I came to this field of study when I was 44, pretty late in life, unlike all you youngsters, you lucky, blessed youngsters studying Buddhism from an earlier age. But for some reason, the seeds ripened when these children were born to me that, oh my gosh, these are my teachers. I did not know what a teacher was. but I raised them very uniquely as though they were my teachers. My function was to wash them and feed them and protect them. And everything else was up to them. I don't think I ever disciplined them. I don't think I ever told them they were wrong or they had to do something they did not want to do. Literally, it was a very interesting experiment. And I would follow their lead. I made life significant decisions based on their lead, even as infants. And I realized if someone was crying, I was not doing my job as mother. And I had to make sure everybody was having a fun time all the time. And it made for literally the most joyful period of my life that I have experienced. Just serving these two beings, you know, as a teacher was profound. And the result is they are the two kindest young men I know. They are now 32 and 34. Of course, they lived at Diamond Mountain for 7 years before 3-year retreat. And they are so kind and calm, and they walk through the world with confidence, with no aggression or pushiness, you know, socially assertive behaviors. They're just gentle men. So I realized in preparing for this class, actually, that raising these two children this way produced the seeds for me to meet my teacher. I was not looking for a teacher. I did not know what this idea of a teacher was. I did not even know what Buddhism was. And a teacher showed up in my neighborhood in the middle of nowhere. I live in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to raise my children in nature. So we lived in the middle of a 60-mile dirt road. And Geshe Michael's first 3-year retreat was in the same valley, on the same extension of the same dirt road in the middle of nowhere. So I never understood how I had the seeds to ripen a teacher coming to me, but it was being a mother. Being a mother and treating my children as a teacher as my mothering style, which is all based in softening the heart, bodhicitta. So I thought that was a pretty cool connection. Let's see now. You still see my pictures? Do you still see pictures from me? Am I still screen sharing?
Nope.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay, so we know that wisdom is the mother of Buddhas, and we know the bodhicitta has to be there also to get us into total enlightenment. And so we have several practices that we're studying currently together. It's wonderful. That will activate this bodhicitta with wisdom that will get us to total enlightenment. And I wanted to overlay this idea of honoring our mothers with this practice that will take us to total enlightenment. Okay, so we have, of course, the 7-point Lojong by Geshe Michael. We have Master Shantideva looking at equalizing first before we do the 7 steps to bodhicitta. We have Maitreya talking about these steps and many other commentaries on Lojong. And now, of course, with Hector, and recently with Geshe Michael, we're looking at Tonglen. So I want to talk about equalizing first. This has been a profound practice for me that I'm currently doing. And I'm seeing, oh my gosh, I am profiling. Do you know that term? I am prejudiced. I am biased. I make judgment on every person I meet the second I meet them. It happens automatically. And it's a habit that is so difficult to stop. So I'm noticing now that my mind is constantly making this differentiation, you know, like this person is worthwhile for me to be nice to. You know, they gave me lunch last week, so I'll be nice to them. And this person was kind of mean to me the other day, so they're not worthwhile. I don't have to pay attention to them. They're mean. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then, of course, we have infinite galaxies filled with beings we don't know. Even just down the street, there are beings we don't know. And so we don't care. I don't care about them. I don't know them. They're not my children. So if we apply this idea of being the mother, and the mother is, and wisdom is the mother of Buddhas, this is our understanding of karma and emptiness that empowers us to apply a label of, oh my God, you were my mother in some life. And to equalize our idea of all beings to the state of being my mother. What a difference in a day that makes already. And, you know, without doing this, it's very unreliable to make judgment on other people. They just walk in the room and they say, and I say in my mind, oh, you're my enemy. I need to go away. You know, you were mean to me. Well, guess what? Same as the man in the garage who has the big hairy arms and he's under the hood of my car, fixing my car. He too was my mother in another life. And you know, we're all students, beautiful students, and we've been studying the logic that proves this idea is valid since we've been going in and out of lives since beginningless time. Of course, mathematically, it comes out that that bird on that tree was my mother in a previous life. So I need to, of all the beings equally. You know, the guy who was mean to me last week was my mother in my last life and gave me life. Or the guy who's nice to me today, you know, tomorrow might say an unkind word to me, but he was my mother. So if we can keep bringing everything back down to this idea that all beings are our mother, they've all nursed me at their breast. They've all taught me how to tie my shoes and play with me and feed me. So we have to feel compassion and kindness to all beings equally. And judging people on this old habit based on who's nice to me is not helpful to my enlightenment or the happiness and freedom from suffering for all beings, okay? And I think every one of us in this room, this classroom, are dedicated to this idea of taking absolute responsibility for bringing everyone to enlightenment, starting with myself. And this equalizing step, I'm getting it, is key. It's key to success. It's key to achieving ultimate enlightenment and seeing everyone else that way. So Tonglen is another fabulous practice to do after we equalize. You know, I'm equalizing many times during the day. I have been doing a practice for many years of 4 powers pretty constantly during the day. You know, I try to catch myself quickly when some bad thought goes through my mind. I mean, unkind thought, I should say. You know, a thought that could harm another person. I try to catch that as quickly as possible. But now I'm also trying to catch this profiling that I do when a being walks into my presence. Because it happens automatically. Dang, 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 dang. Darn, darn, darn. It's, you know, they're better, I'm better. She's weaker, she's stronger, she's scary, she's safe, he's unkind. You know, it just happens that fast. So I'm feeling the power of working hard to break this very nasty, nasty, unhelpful habit, okay? Because that's all it is. It's nasty and it's not helpful. And what it's doing, best of all, woo, it's transforming people who scare me into my mother. So I'm filled with love and compassion for them. You know, the big bad wolf cannot scare me anymore. They're my mother. They need my love. They need my kindness. And that will help them be kinder. So I'm shifting how I see scary things or things that make me unhappy just with this equalizing practice. So we remember that the goal is to feel an equally open heart and a concern for everybody else across the board, okay? It's the only way we're going to get out of this, I like to say, out of this taco stand. It's the only way we're going to get out of samsara, the cycle of suffering, is to stop judging who other people are based on the unreliable experience of them. Oh, they were nice to me for lunch yesterday, you know. Oh, they said something mean to me or about me, you know. Different in the next minute. So don't get hooked on these transitional experiences with beings and just automatically see them as your mother. They gave you life. They are the cause. They are our fertile field for enlightenment through our behaviors, our thoughts, and our words towards them, okay? They are incredibly important, every single being, to our success on this path. And of course, we know the success on this path is not just for me, it's for infinite numbers of beings. So it's darn important that we get off our meditation cushion and walk out into the world and try to tame this mind into seeing all beings as our mother, just boom, automatically. What a nice new first response, you know? With the 2 husbands in the kitchen, he's yelling at me, oh my God, that's my mother. Right? We jump right into the wisdom. And because it's our mother. I love the story that Geshe Michael told us, you know, with, I think it was Mrs. Hancock, you know, his old lady, we call her affectionately for so long before knowing who she was. She had taken some medication improperly, and they affected her mentally, and she got agitated, and she was wanting to, she was feeling afraid, I think the story goes, and maybe Ale, you can remember better. And she was like trying to hit Geshe Michael and Veronica. And at that moment, because of who it was, it's your mother, you're not going to take out a kitchen knife or pull out a gun and shoot her. You know, you're just not going to do that. You're going to try to hug her and hold her and slow her down and calm her with sweet words, restrain her gently. And I think, you know, we're seeing it in our country right now dramatically. We're seeing it, violence all around the world, actually, but in our country dramatically, how a first response to something scary is to just kill it. And I'm not speaking figuratively. It's a very literal first habit, becoming more and more frequent. 42,000 people were killed in America last year by guns. And again, this is just a habit that we can change on our meditation cushion, equalizing all beings and seeing them as our mother, our dear, precious mother who needs our compassion and our kindness. You know, we're all in that airplane crashing together, every single one of us, and not one of us has the capacity to escape that crashing airplane unless we change the way we think about each other. That's our safety net. That's how we can get that plane to recover and fly again safely to our destination. We can't be complaining about the food on the plane. We can't be complaining about the movie. We cannot be irritated by the guy next to us snoring. We cannot be irritated at the bad service. You know, these three states of aversion, ignorant liking, ignorant disliking, and ignorance itself, not knowing where these irritating people come from, is going to keep us on that crashing plane, and we're going to die. Just that simple. So our mothers are a beautiful, beautiful model to think of in caring for all beings equally. Let's see here. You know, I kind of wanted to do a different format for the second. Let's see here. Here's a question. The teaching that all beings are our mothers, is it literal or figurative? And it's literal. If we logically do the analysis, if we do the analysis and understand that our mind streams have been emanating in bodies, in forms since beginningless time, in countless forms, you know, in different realms. Yeah, all beings have been our mother, literally. And the mothers teach us to soften our hearts. Yes, literally. The person who gave us life, the person who took care of us through our lives, that person has a special spot of affection in our hearts, you know. And as I said, it might be your babysitter or your grandmother. Maybe you didn't have a mother in this lifetime. It's whoever it was who kept you alive during your vulnerable years when you would not have been capable by yourself. So that person has a tender little spot in our hearts, which if we follow their teachings, follow their lead, follow their guidance throughout life, will soften our hearts. I saw that happen with my mom. So am I missing any other questions? Oh, good morning from Colombia. Let's see here. Oh, nice to see you. Okay. Okay, very good. So I wanted to open this conversation to people and talk about maybe problems that you're having currently in your life. Since this is bringing wisdom to life, that's the topic of this conversation. Let's bring it to life in your day, okay? So let's talk about maybe a problem you might have, and then as a group, talk about how we might apply equalizing and the 7 steps to bodhicitta, which we didn't review. I'll say what they are again. And then Tonglen, and see how those 3 practices, especially equalizing and seeing everyone as our mother, could solve the problem. I'm using it to solve problems every day. It's phenomenal. And so I want to develop some solutions, some action plans for you if you have a particular problem that you might want to solve through applications of these ideas. So think about a problem you might want to solve, or share a problem you solved using something like this so that others could benefit from your success. So let's review the 7 steps, of course. We start with equalizing. There's the preliminary. We're going to not jump to the conclusion, the wrong conclusion, that that person there likes me and is my friend, and that person there, they're mean, they don't like me, I'm going to avoid them. And I don't even know those other people, so I will not even think about them, okay? That's the first step. And my suggestion to apply to this equalizing is to see them all as your mother, because this will stimulate a softening of our heart, an increase of love and compassion, wanting to help them, wanting to take away their suffering. This idea of this person who saved your life will evoke, okay? So then the first step is seeing all beings as our mother, or as the dearest person to us when we were young. The second step is remembering the kindness of our mother, or the kindness of whomever it was that took care of us when we were young, okay? That's the second step. And then the third step is, oh my gosh, I want to repay that kindness. And I've been wrapping my priorities around repaying the kindness to my mother for maybe the last 10 years. She's my priority because I have so much kindness to repay. And I feel like karmically, it's been really powerful to my experience in the world. So wanting to repay that kindness and feeling strongly about that. And then number 4 is, wanting to give love. Number 5 is taking away suffering. And I might have those reversed. Someone can correct me. And then number 6 is great resolve. I'm going to give my mom love and I'm going to take away all her suffering. I have to repay her kindness. So those are the 6 causes. And then the 7th step is the result, which is bodhicitta. So now your intention is imbued firmly in your heart, okay, to treat all beings with these 6 previous steps, including the equalizing. Okay, does anyone have a problem they want to try to solve together as a group? We have these little Dharma talks at Diamond Mountain a couple times a week. And it's really great to be out of a classroom environment, but be together around a table. And then we can just say, hey, what do you want to work on? And then the group can talk about ideas and suggestions in ways that they can solve that problem. So I'm hopeful that we'll feel comfortable to do that here together right now. What if my mom is no longer alive? How can I do all these? Oh, this is such a fun question for me. I love this question. You know, as we go through our teachings for years and years, and we study and we learn from different commentaries, we start to understand, of course, more and more that things are empty of nature, and this idea of time and physicality of the environment, everything is empty of nature as we think it is fixed. It's not fixed. Nothing is fixed. Everything is 100% potential. So when we were in 3-year retreat, someone asked me, didn't you miss your Lama? And I said, I was going to say, hell no. I was going to say, heck no. I didn't miss my Lama. I was with my Lama more than ever because I wasn't hanging out with you. No, I didn't say that. I was with my Lama more because I keep the Lama in my heart, right? We have every meditation, we invite the Lama to sit with you, right? Sit in front of you, knee to knee. And we're taught to bring the essence of their fragrance and to see the texture in their shirt, you know, to see the smile on their face, right? To see their eyes like absorbing every little bit of your essence. Gosh, how much closer can you get than that? So the same is with your parent who is not in this world. Bring them to you in your heart. Sit them down in front of you in your meditation, or, you know, gosh, set a place setting for them at the breakfast table after your meditation. And then ask them to stay there in your heart all the time. Please stay there with me. And what you're going to find, which is what I found, is that, gosh, they are there more than they could have been in 3 dimensions. This is such a limiting form to try to share intimacy with, to share time with, to share ideas with, because number one, everybody's in a different place. Nobody has time, number 2, right? We're all so busy. I don't know. And I don't know, conversations are challenging. You know, the use of words is challenging to really express, like I say, intimacy or exchange ideas that are important to the heart. But in your meditation, and then when you ask them to stay forever in your heart, you can say, and then all day, that person is with you in your heart. And you know, the Tibetans say the heart, the head is in the heart. So they're in your head and they're always available. You can ask them any question, anytime. How are you feeling? What should I do with this? What was that person thinking when they were telling me something? What do you think? What do you think about this shirt? Do you like this shirt? The conversation topics can be whatever you want, but it's up to you to keep that person close to you. And again, the 3-dimensional thing is such a, I don't know, it's dysfunctional, I think, if you ask me. I can't wait to get my light body. I can't wait. And without the 3 dimension, gosh, that person is in my heart and their mind is in my heart. I can hear what they're saying. We can have conversations, just no problem. Does that answer the question? Okay, let's see here. What's another question? Scrolling up. Okay, so Bruce, I don't know what you said. Maybe in my next light body form, I will know.
I'll translate the question for you. And
okay.
Yeah. Isn't the second comment?
Oh, I have a trainer who talks a lot. I don't like it. I don't know how to treat him as my mother. What should I do? Oh my gosh. Well, we do the wisdom and compassion combination here, right? So this is your mother. First thing, we got the compassion thing down. So, well, I don't know. Why are they talking a lot? Number one, you know, the easy answer would be, oh, I talk a lot, so I'm forced to see somebody else talking a lot, right? That's the easy automatic question. And that's fine. So I'll go purify my talking, you know, and I'll listen more. And that's a good answer, by the way, is to listen more. And then your trainer will listen to you more. But maybe they're the trainer and they're supposed to talk, you know? I sit here and I talk for an hour. Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's his job to talk a lot. But if you don't like it, that's a negative karma ripening. So practice listening more, do 4 powers. Actually, I've been told I interrupt and the other persons don't like it. And so I've been 4 powersing it. And I've had 2 people recently say, you know, I love how you listen. So we can change all that. You know, we can change that with karma. But then thinking how you would teach your mother, treat your mother, you're not going to say anything rude to her. You're not going to say, oh, shut up, mom. You're going to just listen and know you're planting seeds, very powerful seeds that will result in other people talking less because you're talking less. Okay. And by you listening to this person who's irritating you as though she were your mother, a very powerful karmic object, right? Yahoo! How better can it get? You're planting good seeds with a powerful karmic object who otherwise could be labeled as an irritating trainer. And you won't get good seeds listening to an irritating trainer. You're planting bad seeds. You're just reinforcing the bad seeds that are already ripening by not listening somewhere else, right? So plant super powerful seeds, equalize that trainer into the essence of your mother, who is a very high karmic object for you, the person who took care of you, and listen and rejoice that you're planting good seeds while you're going through this irritating moment. Okay, let's see here. Why am I not seeing these? Okay. I'm not seeing the, oh, there we go. Oh, I'm only seeing problem with my uncle. Is there a sentence above that? Oh, is that the beginning of the sentence? He has an addiction. I know it comes from me, but I don't know how to help him. What seeds should I plant to don't see this addiction in my world? How could I help him? I had the same situation with a powerful karmic object. And number one, see them as your mother and feel compassion. Let's see here. There are several levels to answer this question. Okay, see them as your mother first, and that's going to get your compassion base set up, okay? Number two, if this person with their addiction is putting you in a regular and dangerous situation because of the addiction, you must go to a 12-step program. And I don't know if you are aware, there are many different kinds of 12-step programs, okay? There are 12-step programs for addicts of all kinds, but you can't make that person go to that one, right? The addict has to want to go by themselves. But there are 12-step programs for people who hang out with addicts or have to live with an addict. And it's very important that you get some support in that department. Now, Geshe Michael has talked a lot about 12-step programs because they're 4-step plans. That's what 12-step programs are. It's so cool. A 12-step program to learn how to be around an addict and protect yourself emotionally as well as physically is a 4-step plan. Number one, what do I want? I want to feel safe around this addict, right? Number two, find someone else who wants it. Oh, 12-step program. And they're advertised on apps. You can find a 12-step meeting anywhere in the world, anytime, day or night. So get the app. Easy step number two. Find somebody who wants the same thing. 3, help them. Go to the meeting. And what meetings are is people sitting around listening to you talk about your problem. And they nod and they make little suggestions, right? So it's so easy. You don't have to bare your heart. You don't have to do any like sobbing confessions, no drama. Just go help somebody else by listening to their problems. And maybe you will have a good idea to help them out with. But that your intention is to go help somebody else with step number 3. So just do step number 3. Go to the 12-step meeting for, not for the addicts, but for the families of the addicts. Number 4, rejoice. Okay, we know about that one. Rejoice, 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 rejoice. Now, the second part of this, now that you're safe, because I don't know the intensity of your exposure, so I want to talk to you about your safety first, okay? The second part is look at your addictions and then take care of your addictions so you will see fewer addicts in the world. Now, this realm is so fantastic and fabulous and attractive, you know, to most of us. There's lots of things to get addicted to. Number 1, we're all addicted to air. I don't know what we're going to do about that. We have to get our light body. But we can be addicted to shopping. We can be addicted to owning a lot of stuff. We can be addicted to image. You know, I have to look cool. And I'm going to hurt other people to look cooler than you, right? That's an addiction. We can be addicted to cigarettes, alcohol, drugs. Those are the obvious ones. Sex, Netflix. That's my weakness. And I have to really be careful because I have seen, by changing my addictions, I have seen people with addictions lose their addictions. I'm seeing fewer addicted people in my world. It's like phenomenal. They don't even go to AA meetings. They didn't have, just had to change my addictions, get rid of my addictions. Kabammy. I'm seeing fewer addicted people in my world. And I also notice when I let my little addictions, they're not so huge. They used to be big to many things, actually. They're now getting down to smaller and smaller addictions. But if I entertain one just a little bit, someone will fall off the wagon. That's what they say. Someone will have a little drinking binge or a shopping binge. And I know that's coming from me. It's so cool, right? So I'm the one who has to go to the AA meetings to help other people with their addictions and fears, whatever. I'm the one who has to change my addictions to see fewer addicts in the world.
Venerable Kading,
Yes.
there is another question.
Oh, thank you.
My mother is 89. I take care of her sometimes. It's very difficult since she forgets things and is repeating the same question or issue over and over. How I can manage that?
Okay. This sounds like dementia maybe, or Alzheimer's, a very common projection happening in our world these days, right? And I'm thinking for myself in answering that question, I had a younger brother die of Alzheimer's recently. And again, that's a karmic seed ripening in my heart, especially having someone so close to me as you have with your mother, that I think meditation could be the karmic cause for maybe more clear thinking. I haven't figured this out. And as a group, maybe we should work on this because, of course, medical science is spending gabillions and gabillions of, monetary units trying to solve this very fast growing problem. I think our society is pushing itself way too hard with the money wheel, the success thing. I got to get there fast. And I think our emotional bodies can't handle it. It's harmful. This is what I saw in my brother's case. He was a very tender man, and he got swept up in a very fast-paced world. And I think his emotional body just couldn't take it. So I think, our meditation practices are going to help see a world slow down with fewer expectations. And as we practice equalizing all beings and making them into our mothers, seeing them as our mother, which they all have been, and not expecting and demanding. I mean, I think this was the success in my child rearing practice. I didn't make demands and expectations, and you have to be different, and you have to go fast, and you have to make a lot of money, and you have to do this. I think we just love and want to take away suffering. All of that other activity might diminish. And our meditation time is so powerful. That's where we change seeds at the causal level with these practices, I think we can change that. Your mom's 89. My mom's 88 or 89. She still has a good mind. So I haven't had to deal with that with her. But I think whoever asked the question, I think just feel patient, feel compassion. You know, she's of this suffering world. And just adjust your expectations of your exchanges with her to match hers, match your responses to her, her conversational capacity. So you say the same thing 12 times, you know? It's only a problem. It would only be a problem in my heart if I was expecting to have a more intelligent conversation. You know, we already talked about that. We already went over that, you know. That's the only problem in the situation. So adjust to her where she's at. You know, she's in samsara. Again, you know, another passenger on this plane that's going down fast. Maybe, you know, start bringing up new topics. Maybe do some reading yourself and interject a new topic every once in a while, or after the 5th time she said something. Well, what do you think about this new shirt I'm wearing? Or, you know what I mean? Get skillful in introducing new topics and maybe stimulating interest in a new topic. That's all I can suggest, but keep meditating in a world that will support mental health through the long haul. We need that. We need to project that. Well, we have 4 more minutes. Any other questions? Yeah, I have to say it's very sad when we see our mothers get old and breaking. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a great question. Not Flavia's. That question before Flavia's is I can't read the top part of it. Could you read that for me, Ale, please?
Yes. This is from Monica. Since everyone is our mother, then everyone in the same powerful karmic object as our mother?
Yes! When we see that every being included in countless beings is our mother, that is bodhicitta, and that's exactly how we get out of samsara. That's exactly what we need to apply over our wisdom to get from Arhat to Buddha. And that exactly is what's behind the title of this program. When we are able to feel that with compassion, you know, fierce intention that every being is my mother. I must protect them. I must take away their suffering. I must help them be happy. Bingo. You're in. Go be enlightened. So thank you for, you know, bringing up that summary. That is the summary. Yeah, right on. That's our goal. That's my goal. I'm excited because it makes it so much easier, right? To go through the day. I don't have to worry about positioning, categorizing, and wondering, is this person going to hurt me or is it going to trust me? Forget it. You know, they're my mom. Woo. How can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I take care of you? Okay. Well, thank you for coming, everybody. It was so nice to see you. Mr. Daniel, there you two hiding in the corner. And happy Mother's Day, all of you, my mothers. I love you so much. Thank you for being my mother. Thank you for getting me to enlightenment.
Thank you so much, Venerable Kading, for here today with us. And to all the translators, all the tech volunteers, all the marketing volunteers, all the volunteers on ACI. Without you, we couldn't produce this series of classes. And thank you so much.
See, you're all the mothers. Every one
Yes.
of you. Okay, sorry to interrupt. See how I am?
And thank you so much, all the students who come to these classes. These series are for you and for us. Please coming back to our next session in June and bringing wisdom to life. Practice every day, wherever you are. Small actions can change your reality. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Francisco and the ACI team. And see you next time.
Happy Mother's Day.